Afternoon VC. All right. One more contest update. Tonight is the end date at midnight. So you still got a little bit of time to get an entry in. You just have to show me one record with ringwear and be subscribed to the channel and let me know, and we'll put your name in the hat. Some great entries today from Norman Maslow, John 6-inch pianist, and John digital gramophone. Epic footage from the post office, sir. Thank you. That made my day. Anyway, gonna do what we normally do here, and what I'm getting called out about, which is show records, is the vinyl community. We're not showing things to scrub the tub with here. So yeah, records. Got a long vacation in from work this week. They let us out at noon on Wednesday. Don't go back till Monday. So nice break. So when I got out, had the whole afternoon. So what else am I gonna do? So I went into Lunchbox, and found a few records, and then decided that, well, it's only fair that I go through their 7-inches, since I went through all the repos for like 3 hours. And it's interesting, a couple years ago, somebody walked into Lunchbox and approached Scott and bought every single used 7-inch, all of them, everything he had. And he had a ton. He had a bunch of boxes like tucked underneath the new 7-inches that are up on top to dig through, and new arrivals. This guy bought everything. I don't even know if he looked through all of it, but he bought everything, which was kind of crazy, but hell, why not sell them? It's not like more 7-inches aren't going to come in to the shop used. But I hadn't gone through what's underneath the new 7-inches in a while, gone through the used, so I decided to do that there too. But I did find a few records first. Been going through the blues sections now, which is fun because I'm into the old blues. Some great stuff. Picked this one up. I believe Steve Carlson showed this a long time ago, and so this one intrigued me. Albert King, Lovejoy. Great cover on this one. This particular copy was still sealed, brand new, and it's an 80s reissue of this record. I'm not sure when it was originally released, but this is on Stax, and this is I of course opened it, on the fantasy, it's on Stax for this fantasy imprint bag. You know, the real kind of flimsy vinyl, but it's really nice shape. Of course, perfect being the sealed record, and it's not warped, so I was very happy about that. Starts off with a cover of the Stones' Honky Tonk Woman. So yeah, I didn't have any Albert King, so this is the first I picked up of his. Some really good blues. See, remastered in 1982. So this is the remaster right here. Happy to find that. And then also found this one in the blues section. This is a great series of records. This is volume 12 on the GNP Crescendo Records label. Lightnin' Hopkins. This is the Legacy of the Blues, a series of recordings by the great blues artists. And I have another one of these, I think, that Sherv gave me when I was out west. Yeah, great series of records. So yeah, I've been digging Lightnin' Hopkins lately, so I picked this one up. 10 tracks, got Ira James on harmonica and Larry Bones McCall on drums with him here. This is some great blues. Yeah, it lists, this was volume 12, it lists all the other volumes. Yeah, this would be a fun series to put together, to get all the volumes of this. I'm not sure how many total there were, but yeah, fantastic blues. cheap record. Found this in the jazz section, and I have the other two Steve Reed records that Soul Jazz reissued, so I picked this one up as well. Odyssey of the Oblong Square was originally on Mustevic Sound Records. I believe Dom just showed an original copy of this. I'm not in the market for an original. These reissues from Soul Jazz are top-notch, so went this route with this one. Fantastic lineup. Ahmed Abdullah on trumpet, who's an underrated trumpet player. I have a couple of his other records. Steve Reed is one of my favorite drummers. David Wortman on bass. He's got a bunch of records on this label too that are being reissued now, which is great because the originals are really difficult to find and expensive. Got some percussionist here, and then Arthur Blythe and Charles Tyler on the horns. Yes, very, very pleased to see that in the bins. It's a great reissue there. Is there anything special about the vinyl? It comes with this crazy big hype sticker, and it is the gold version. So there you go, some unnecessary, but this is cool gold with the yellow labels. And it comes with a download, so you can have it in the car too, which is pretty cool. Soul Jazz top quality reissues. And then this was in the new arrivals, and I don't know, I just grabbed it. I didn't have anything by The Clash, and this is, you know, a classic record. Not much needs to be said about it. Combat Rock. A nice copy. A 1982 copy on Epic. Not a first pressing, like a second or third. Probably more like a third press, but from the original year. Because the original first presses, I think, had The Clash Combat Rock like that on the label. This is just the Epic label, like the CBS Epic copy. But in perfect shape. So I grabbed it just because how clean the record was. So this will be a nice copy to listen to. Of course, Should I Stay or Should I Go, Rock the Casbah, heard those songs a trillion times. I'm not really interested in those songs. I'm more interested in the rest of the record that I haven't heard. So added this to the punk collection. Really nice copy. And so yeah, that was the records, and then I did go through the 7-inches as I was talking about, and I got a little stack here of 7-inches. And when I was in the new arrivals, Scott came up to me and said Merry Christmas and gave me a Lunchbox Records gold pen, gold and black. Really nice pen. I guess that's penance for keeping him in business for 17 years. So yeah, 7-inches. Here we go. And a lot of these are almost the same kind of artists I found at Repo, which is, I guess, not odd. If somebody was selling a bunch of 7-inches to both, I mean, there's a lot of the same artists you're going to see here from my last video showing 7-inches. The Beatles, Hey Jude on the A, and Revolution on the B. Really nice copy here with the Apple logo in this American London group bag. I think this might be the original bag. Could be. Not sure, but all these singles are original copies, US copies that I found. Got James Brown in the Famous Flames. Funky Soul #1 on the King label, in the King Bethlehem bag, and the Soul of JB. Bunch of James Brown. Got another one. This one's an old one. James Brown and the Famous Flames, I Loves You Porgy, and Yours and Mine. Really nice copies. This is a unplayed copy on the Bethlehem. label. Parts 1 and Parts 2 of Mother Popcorn. Great single. Love these King singles with the picture of James Brown on them. And then another 70s one on Polydor. These are my favorite ones. This one's from 76. I Refuse to Lose and Home Again. This is in the original bag. So another great, a lot of James Brown. Been digging some JB. This was probably my favorite find. This, The Doors, Light My Fire. Great freaking song. Backed by the Crystal Ship. In great shape. Really was stoked to find that one. I didn't have any Doors records at all, so this is the only Doors I have, is this single. I've told this story before, but I've met John Densmore from the Doors. Back in the early 90s, he came to my college at Fredonia doing his book tour. The movie had just come out, and he brought his drum kit and, of course, his books to sell, and he would autograph the books if you bought them. And but he did a question and answer session with the audience, and I can't remember if it was if I asked him or someone asked him what he thought of the movie, and I had just seen the movie, and he goes, well, 90% of it is fiction. He goes, if there were naked women on stage with us in Miami, I wish I was there to see it. Dude was cool. John Densmore. It was a pleasure to meet him. So it's only right that I have some Doors in the collection. Rick James, Super Freak, Parts 1 and 2. Just some classic. This one's from the 80s. This is like a 1981 on Gordy. Just a classic, some classic Rick James. Yeah. Some Rolling Stones. I dig the Stones. This one's Happy on the A side, All Down the Line on the B side, on the Rolling Stones imprint. I thought that was cool because it had the logo on it. I grabbed that one. One on London from the Stones, We Love You on the A side, backed by Dandelion. I haven't listened to this one yet. I'm not sure about this one, but it was cheap enough, so I grabbed it on the London label, US copy. Then I've been really into the Supremes lately for some reason. Just digging the horn section, and just what a fantastic group. This is one of their best songs, one of my favorites. You Keep Me Hanging on Motown, backed by Remove This Doubt. Really stoked to find that one. And then another one I grabbed just because it's the Supremes. I Hear a Symphony, and Who Could Ever Doubt My Love is on this one from 1965. Motown. So now I have 3 Supreme singles, and then their only Jamaican single I found in any of them was this single on Big Tree Records, which is part of Trojan Records, Double Barrel from Dave and Ansel Collins. This is a US copy. Steve over in Wales sent me a copy of this single, the British version. So now I have a British and American version. A great Jamaican single. So those are the 7 inches that I yanked out of Lunchbox. Just fun stuff to throw on and spin on, especially on Saturdays. Saturdays I usually like to do big sessions of spinning 7 inches back to back. It's just something I like to do on Saturday afternoons, so that fits the bill nicely. Of course, then I ran out of 7-inch sleeves, so dipped into Repo to get some 7-inch sleeves because he's got a ton of them, and found one record, an OG copy of Rubber Soul on Capitol, a US copy, a mono, in just absolutely freaking fantastic shape. It's got some like bit of staining here, but other than that, oh god, and this plays absolutely fantastic. And was a really freaking good price too. Steve priced it. He priced it to go. Really dug the song Norwegian Wood because George Harrison was on sitar on that. I thought that was really cool. You Won't See Me and Think for Yourself are good cuts. The end of side one had a wanker kind of song, Michelle. It was okay, but kind of wanker. I'm sure. Well, I don't know. Probably Paul wrote that one, which is why it's a wanker. When they collaborate, it's better stuff. B-side, really good B-side. In My Life is a really fucking great song. Why am I talking about this Beatles record? Y'all know Rubber Soul. Reason I've been wanting to get this one is that was a great club in Winston-Salem. One of my favorites ever. That's gone. They started having hip-hop nights on like Wednesdays or something, and the place got shot up, and that was the end of the city. Put the smackdown on them. Was a great place to see good rock bands, 70s style bands, hippie bands, just good music, good people. Yeah, that was Sam Moss used to hang out there, and he'd usually be at the pizza place next door. We'd shoot the shit with him, eating pizza at Burke Street Pizza, and then go to Rubber Soul for a gig. It's a shame that place is gone. And great name for a club, Rubber Soul. And up in Winston. Yeah, that's a good Beatles record. I like Revolver a lot better. But this, and I've never really got into the Beatles till recently, so at age almost 50, so it's been kind of fun picking up a few things I find of theirs here and there. Not a bad album. Let's see. So that brings us to Record Store Day. I did my due diligence. Well, I went to each store once, but I didn't go Friday to Lunchbox. I went today. And that actually didn't work out in my favor, but yesterday I went just quickly into Repo on a walk, and I got the one title that I wanted to get there, that I had my mind on, and that was the Motorhead The Lost Tapes, live in Malmo, from the We Are Motorhead tour from 2000, double LP on green. I haven't even opened this yet. A lot of freaking cool cuts on this one. Classics are on here, like Ace of Spades and Overkill, to close out the set. I love live Motorhead, and I've got all the other ones that have come out for Record Store Day, the one in Madrid, Spain, and the one in Norwich, England. So I figured I'd keep it going with the Malmo show. And yeah, really great job they do on these. From BMG, Murder One, really cool. The coolest records that come out on Record Store Day are these Motorhead records, in my opinion. So that's all I got there. And then today I went to Lunchbox. All I wanted to get was the DVD CD thing that came out about Max's Kansas City. I think it's called Night Clubbing, or I forget what it's called. But they sold out of it, and it's kind of sold out everywhere, so I'm going to have to look around for that. It's not expensive or anything, but it's like $20 at Lunchbox, or 20, just over $20, but it'll probably be double now, so maybe I won't get it. But I did get this record, and I'm happy I did. Tony Williams, Play or Die. This was originally released in Switzerland and Germany in 1980. Never released in the States on vinyl, and still hasn't been, I don't think. This is a reissue for Record Store Day from a German MIG label. And this is an import. And this is an interesting Tony Williams record, to say the least. I just played this. It's a trio. It's Tony on drums and percussion, Tom Grant on keyboards, and Patrick O'Hearn on electric bass. So, I mean, I don't know if you can see these guys. But anyway, it's Tony playing with two white dudes in 1980. This was recorded in Stuttgart in Germany. How he got with these guys, I don't know, but the bass player kicks ass on this. He's on electric bass, Patrick O'Hearn. He opens things up on this record. Killer sound. Heavy. Tony Williams is absolutely fantastic throughout this whole record. He sings on the last song that he wrote and sings fantastic. It's the only song with vocals. There comes a time. The keyboards on the A side can get cheesy, can totally sound like 80s keyboards, but the bass and drums still make it good. But I was worried that the whole record was going to be like that. The B side is completely different than the A side. The keyboardist does different things in each of the songs and kind of chills out on the cheese, and so it's freaking great. Jam Tune, the opening of side 2 is fucking killer. 9 minutes 43 seconds. The B side of this record is absolutely fantastic all the way through, and so I'm very pleased that I picked this up. And this was like 20 some bucks, so just on plain labels, regular black vinyl, but it sounds really good. It's a really good sounding record. Bassist is hell of a good bass player. How he got with these cats in Germany, I don't know. His wife had a hand in getting this reissued, it sounds like, because on the back says Colleen Williams wishes to thank Tom Grant and Patrick O'Hearn for their contributions to this recording, both of whom Tony regarded as great and gifted musicians and inspired human beings. Further thanks goes to Jonas Herbsman for his tireless and selfless support of Tony's work, his discernment and recognition of true artistry, and his determination to defend it. To Colin Schofield for his never-ending guidance, stalwart support, true friendship, and deep appreciation of Tony's legacy. And finally, to everyone at MIG for bringing this lost recording back to life. This is really good. It's, I don't know, I thought it was going to be just a jazz rock fusion record, but it's got a little bit more to it than that. It's definitely different. I don't have anything else like this. This is a record like Dave Wayne, I could see digging, Chris Cole, Bill. I think Bill at the Vinyl Verse would love this record. So yeah, Tony Williams, Play or Die. Worth picking up for RSD. And I looked at a few other things, but they were all like 30 some bucks. The Rival Schools thing was $100. Well, it was 90 at Lunchbox, and I have all the music pretty much, except for a couple of the unreleased tracks. They took the one-line drawing EP and added it to the other album. So I passed on it. United by Fate, great record. It's just not worth $100 to me. It's a little bit crazy, but yeah, that's what's up. Seeing some more entries coming in here. We'll check them out. Appreciate everybody that's entered. It's about 23 entries or so far. Take care. Peace.